Hi, Juliana. I'm so excited to see you. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great. So, I'm in North Carolina. I'm Sherry Blevins, and I'm the composer of the new song for South Carolina Treble Choir ACDA. Yay! Which is
Oh,
super awesome. So, I'm so glad that all of you are going to be singing. Juliana is here because she lives in Western Alaska, and the song is about Western Alaska and the Western Alaska people, most of which are Yupik people, and Juliana is Yupik. So we're super excited, Juliana, to have you with us because you are an expert. And I understand, didn't you grow up speaking Yupik was your first language?
yeah, Yupik is my first language.
Wow,
So, yeah,
that's wonderful. And then when did you learn to speak English?
when I was in kindergarten,
Aw,
that was the first time I heard English.
wow.
Yeah,
So you had never heard it even until you got to kindergarten. That's
yeah,
amazing. And all the ancestors before you spoke Yupik and passed it from generation to generation. Is that right?
yes, that's correct.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to do the words to the song first, and then I'm going to ask you some questions if you have time, just about Alaska, about growing up there, what it's like there, because I think we're all very curious about the climate and the state, which is one of our 50 states, but very far from us. If we're in South Carolina, it's really far from us. So I'm going to put the words on the screen that we need to know in order to sing the song and make it sound beautiful. So the first is this word, and it is the title of the song. Can you tell us how to say the word?
Nunavut,
Nunavut.
Nunavut, yeah.
Did I do a good job?
You did, you did really good on that.
Nunavut. Yay. Okay.
Nunavut, yeah.
And Nunavut, does it mean our land?
Ireland, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So Nunavut is the title of our song, but it also occurs in the middle of the song. When there's narration, you'll hear the word Nunavut underneath the narration. So it's important that we can say this word correctly. So I'm going to say it and then ask the children to say it little syllable by syllable back to me. But if I do it wrong, Juliana, I need you to tell me, okay?
Okay.
So Nuna, and so the kids, can you say that? Nuna, and then
Nunavut,
and then vut, right?
uh-huh.
Vut. Okay, perfect.
Nunavut.
Oh, thank you. You say it so perfectly. And then together it would be Nunavut. Yes. Okay, good. That's the easy one, by the way. The next words are more difficult for me. I know for you, it's not hard, Juliana. But kids, listen. I know you're smarter than I am, so you'll be able to do this. But I had a hard time learning how to make these letters sound correct because in UPick, some of the sounds that exist don't exist in English. And so if you've ever heard of German, for example, with sounds like and right? If you've heard of French, which has u and some like sounds that don't exist in English, UPick is similar in that a few of the sounds we've never heard before if we only speak English. So I wonder, Juliana, would you just say the sentence for us?
Nunarpak mana kenkaqa.
It sounds perfect when you do it. When I do it, it's not so perfect, but I'm going to do my best, okay? So, can we just talk through? So, the R's in UPick sound more like, is that right?
It's elongated.
It's like, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you say nunarpak, nunarpak.
And you hold that out, the
Uh-huh.
Nunarpak.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Nunarpak.
And then manna, the N is actually a little longer than it would be in English, right?
Yeah. You say
Like
oops,
manna,
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 manna.
manna.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Man.
Now, the last word for me is the hardest one. So we're going to need a lot of help, Juliana. And if you would help me get it right, that might help the kids get it right. So, can you say just the last word?
Kenkaqa.
Kinkaqa. Kinkaqa.
kenkaqa,
Kenkaqa.
kenkaqa.
Okay. So the tricky part for me, and we'll have to all work on this, is that sound right there. And it's because the Q and U pick, I know the kids that I worked with in Western Alaska told me that I need to make it farther back. Oh, sorry. That I need to make the sound farther back, farther back. And I kept going like, ha, ha. And they're like, no, farther back. So this is a hard sound for us to make if you've never spoken U pick before. But will you say it one more time so we can get it right?
Kenkaqa.
Kinkaha.
Ka. You're
Ka. Ka.
um
Ka. Ka.
yeah, you sing
Ka.
where
Ka.
you're singing it now on
Ka.
the
Ka.
lower part of your throat.
Okay.
Ka.
So it feels kind of like a K but down low, right?
Yes.
Okay. That helps me actually. So if you put your hands here, everybody, if you put your hand here, kin ka ha, like
Ka.
ha, ka, 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 ka. I have to
Ka.
practice. Ka,
Ka.
ka,
Ka.
ka,
You got it.
ka. Okay, I got
Ka.
it finally. So it's not like an R.
Kenkaqa.
Like an R is long, like, but ka, like ka, ka. It's just like as fast as a K, but down in the back.
Kenkaqa.
Yeah, just like that. We're going to have to work on that. But I know if anybody can get this right, it's the kids in South Carolina ACDA because their voices are beautiful, but they also are really intelligent people. So I bet you they can do this wonderfully well. In the song, we have all of these words. So it's important that you could tell us what does that mean?
Nunarpak means our huge our land.
Yeah,
Mana means this land. Kenkaqa means we love, we love. So together it says we love our land.
that's beautiful. And you know, it was really fascinating. I'll tell you this because I felt embarrassed that I didn't realize this before. Is I asked somebody who is Yupik, I said, how do you say Alaska in Yupik? And they said that word doesn't exist in Yupik because Yupik people were in that place before it was named Alaska. And Alaska didn't even become a state until what year? Do you know?
I think it was, I don't,
I think it might have been like the 19 like late 50s or 60s. I tell you what, kids that are watching, that's your homework to look that up, to Google when did Alaska become a state. So it was bought from the Russians, or I think maybe it was the Russian Federation, but that's your homework to look that up. So I wanted to show you, I wore my special shirt because the reason I was so inspired to create this song called Nunavut is because I got to conduct a music festival in Bethel, Alaska, which is Western Alaska. And the kids, because Bethel is remote, which means there are no roads to Bethel. So I got to fly into Bethel. And then all the kids from the surrounding areas flew into Bethel too. And then there we had a music festival with the surrounding people. And this is where we went. Ta-da! And I wanted to show everybody this is where Juliana lives right now. Bethel, Alaska is right where the bottom of the S is. So Western Alaska. And if you've ever seen a map of the United States, they always have like Alaska like off by itself, but you know it attaches to Canada, right? So it's very northern, very cold. So Juliana, what would you say if you've never been to Alaska? What would you tell the kids? Like, if you're going to go to Alaska, here's what you need to prepare for.
oh, um, it's always cold. So all year you could wear, a thin coat.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I found. I was there in April, in the middle of April, and I had to wear a heavy coat, gloves, scarf, winter boots, and moose trackers on my boots so I didn't slip on the ice because I'm not used to walking on it. Um, the other question I had about Alaska was in the song, it says the midnight sun or the red midnight sun. What is that about? Because if it's midnight, like in South Carolina, it's dark at midnight, always dark at midnight. Is it always dark at midnight in Alaska?
No, in the summer, we have it's light out. Our guys don't get dark except for probably less than an hour
Wow.
to 2 hours.
Wow. That's,
So
I would love that in the summer. But your summer temperatures never get above like what, 70 degrees Fahrenheit?
sometimes we hit over 70, but most
Really?
of the
But not,
time
yeah.
it's below that.
But like 8 or 9 months of the year, everything's frozen, right?
Yeah.
But when I was there, Juliana, I was so amazed because we had a late rehearsal one day and it became 9 o'clock at night and then it was 9:30. And so I was leaving to go back to the place where I was spending the night, like a little Airbnb. And it was 9:30 and I didn't get there till 10 o'clock at night. And at 10 o'clock, the sun was just setting in the sky. And I was amazed. I was like, oh my gosh. At 9 o'clock, it looked like it was broad daylight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fascinating to
Beautiful.
me. But I did want to tell you one of the most, and then we'll wrap up. One of the most amazing things in my experience with you, Juliana, and your husband who runs the music festival, Greg Carlson, um, all the people that I met were so kind and were so just patient and loving and relaxed and just a little bit on the quiet side because I'm pretty loud and I could be pretty crazy. But everybody there was just very calm and very serene, and I loved it. And you know what I loved even more than that? The whole time I was there working with the children from all over Western Alaska, not one of them complained the whole time.
Wow.
Like nobody complained. And I think it's just part of the culture that if you're in a harsh climate and a harsh environment, that if you complain, you'd be complaining all the time because I'm cold. Ooh, my boots are wet. Ooh, like you'd always be whining and complaining. And so I think the Yupik people are strong and tough. And one of the children told me that when we were thinking about what the song should say that ultimately I created for ACDA, we were talking about what do you think I should tell the kids in South Carolina about Alaska? And one of the girls said that we're tough. And I was like, yeah, you are. You have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for your expertise, for bringing the Yupik language to all of us, to me, and to all the students who are singing, the singers of the American Choral Directors Association in South Carolina. And I have big news, this song is going to be published. So
Yeah.
that means not only will South Carolina people sing it, but hopefully like children all over and even adults too, because it's a difficult piece, right? Hopefully people all over the world will learn about the Yupik people and how beautiful they are and how beautiful your land is because of the music. So I thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your heart with me. And I hope you love the song. I'm going to share it with you. So, all the kids, if you're still watching and listening, whatever recording and video you create, I'm going to send it to Miss Juliana so she can hear and hopefully we'll get the words right.
Well, thank you for all the work you did with the kids here.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. I hope to come back one day really soon.
Mhm. Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.